in today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to get this kind of spotlight 3D smoky eye situation we have going on right now. Looks like these are so popular on Instagram. I see them all the time on P. Louise Academy on Instagram. If you don't know that page, definitely go check it out. It's amazing. There's also another artist. I can't think of her full name. I know her first name is Stacy. I will link her Instagram down below. Her work is amazing. But they all kind of use this technique to get super pigmented shadows, and it is all really in the base that they use, and a lot of them use concealers. Now P. Louise actually came out with an eyeshadow base, which I have not tried. I need to order it because I definitely want to try it out. But yeah, it's all in the base and how you apply it. It's all about layering and blending and all that good stuff. So if you want to learn how to get this look, then definitely keep it. So this is the eye that I started. I'm not going to finish it until we get to do the face and stuff, but I'm going to start on this eye and kind of show you what I do. So we're going to start off with concealer. We're using the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. And you are going to apply this right underneath your brow. Right now what we're going to do is we're going to clean up our brows with this product. My brows are filled in, obviously. They do not naturally look like this. But I'm just taking a smaller little concealer brush and just cleaning up my brow area. Okay, now that we have that, we're going to go ahead and take our finger and just kind of blend out the edges of this, and then we're going to apply more concealer. So the key to this look is the base. You want to make sure you have a good base when you want a super pigmented look like this. And concealer works really well. I know P. Louise, you can follow them on Instagram, P. Louise Academy, has a base now that is supposed to be awesome, but I don't have it. So we're just gonna use this Colourpop concealer. So the other trick is not going to be setting our concealer, which I know seems foreign to some of us, but it works with certain looks, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But anyways, you're going to want to apply a generous amount on the lid, and then I'm taking my Sonia Kashuk. This is just like a flat brush. Anything like this will work. You want to use something pretty flat and thin. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to press that concealer in. You're going to want to keep patting it until it is set. That is the key. You don't want to just apply a little bit, blend, and then move on, because then it will be messy and creasy. You want to keep patting it till it kind of like sets into your skin. And some concealers do set quicker than others. This one takes a little while, but yeah. Don't forget this inner corner area. That's very important because we are going to be putting eyeshadow there. And don't forget to kind of bring it outward a little bit as well. So once you feel that that's pretty much set onto your eye, now we can move on to these shadows. And I'm going to be starting off with my 12P palettes, and I'm going to be taking this color here. That palette is by Morphe, and I'm going to take a Bedeliums Tool blending brush, and you can use this or the MAC 224. Just something similar to this is going to work well. And don't forget, with a look like this, it's very easy to get very messy and muddy. So you want to make sure that you have your hand at the very end of your brush. That way you're applying very little pressure. If you start applying a lot of pressure and really getting in that crease, that's when you're going to get kind of a mess. So you want to make sure you're applying very light pressure. You're just going to start off by applying this in the crease. You basically want to just graze the skin with this color and just let the brush kind of do the work for you. Now, you can do like little circular motions and little back and forth motions, but yeah. And when you get towards the brow, you really want to just do like little motions like this, like little circles, because that way it's going to just fade up into that brow area. And do not forget to get the inner corner, because we are going to be applying a lot of shadow there. So a lot of times people neglect this inner area here, but it's very important to get that area as well. So I'm just going to go back in with one more light layer of that color just to make sure it's really the intensity that I'm looking for. So now I'm going to use the color Gonzo from the Electric palettes. This is a great palette. I love this palette and I used to use it all the time. So I'm taking that color on a Morphe 573 brush and I'm just going to, again, just lightly apply it into the crease over that first shade that we applied. This look requires a lot of layering and that's what helps give you that really gradient blended effect. So if you don't have the patience, you know, you're not going to want to do a look like this. So, because it does take a lot of blending and patience. Alright, now we're moving on to my favorite shade. This is actually one of my favorite eyeshadows and it is Gonzo from the same Electric palettes. It is just a true like electric blue. It's so pretty. I don't have any other shadows like it and it's so pigmented. So I'm taking that on a tapered blending brush. I'm going to use this color kind of in sections because I really want to get the pigmentation of it. So I'm going to start by just applying it on that outer corner here. And again, you're going to just kind of use the tip of this just to blend it. But this is what really is going to start adding some dimension to the look. Now I'm going to take that color again and just apply it on the inner corner here. And don't forget to kind of connect the two areas together in the center here. I'm going to go back in with that color and just reapply it on the outer corner here. Okay, now I'm going to go back in with concealer, and this is what's really going to help me get that really pigmented color. Again, it's all about layering. So I'm going to take a flat little brush and I'm just going to start kind of patting this concealer in and creating a lid because I don't really have one. Alright, so now that we have that concealer on, it's pretty tacky, and we are going to start layering the eyeshadow on top of it. Sometimes when you are blending in your crease, you have a lot of powder, so when you start to layer darker colors, they really don't show up that well. That's why you want to apply the concealer again, so you can have a tacky base so the shadow can really stick. So we are going back in with the color Chaos again on our small little Morphe M506, and we are going to start patting this on the outer corner. Now with this color right now, I would just pat it on. I wouldn't blend it right away. Now we are going to apply that same color on the inner corner as well. Now I'm going to again move my hand back way far in the brush and just kind of blend in the center. So now we're going to work on the center of the eye, and for that we are going to use another one of my favorites. This is from the Saharan 2 palette by Juvias. It's this shadow right here. I'm not going to butcher the name because I really don't understand it, but it is basically like a duochrome, seafoam green, teal look shadow. So we are going to be wetting our brush. And you're going to want to use a pretty flat, precise brush for this. And I'm just going to start by just applying that on the center of the eye. So what do you guys think of me doing looks like these? Like, do you like them? Do you like more neutral looks? I mean, I live for looks like these. But do you guys? Do you like seeing like different creative looks? Let me know. Alright, once you have that applied, you're going to want to take the Sugar Pill Lumi pigment. This pigment is been around for a while and it's just, I'm obsessed with it. I use it not all the time, but I go through stages where I use it pretty often. So again, wet your brush. So you're just layering this on top of the color that we just applied. I'm actually going to apply a little bit more on that eye. Alright you guys, so once that is applied, now we're going back in with the color Gonzo with a tapered blending brush. And we are going to apply this shade in between the shimmery shades and the Chaos shade. And kind of just create a sandwich around that shimmery lid. And again, you just kind of want to pat. You don't want to go too crazy blending because then everything's going to kind of blend into each other. Alright, so I do want a little bit more depth. So I'm going to apply this color. So I do want a little bit more depth. So I'm going to apply this color here from the 12P palette. And I'm just going to apply that on the inner and outer corner over the Chaos color. I'm also going to take a little bit of the black and apply that as well because I just want it to be super dimensional. I'm just taking a little bit of Gonzo and just kind of going in this area here because I want it to, you know, be very blended and nice. Alright, so I'm just going to take some concealer and just apply this on the lower lash line. Is he serious right now? So I'm just taking some concealer and applying it on the lower lash line because we are going to be applying shadows there. Take my finger and just kind of blend out the edges. So now I'm just taking the color Chaos and I'm applying it on that lower lash line. And I'm going to apply it all the way in. Alright, so now that I look like I got punched in the eye, I'm going to take my facial spray and just spray it on a bigger like blending brush or some kind of face brush. And I'm going to run it underneath my eye. And this is going to clean up any kind of fallouts. But it's also going to kind of just like rehydrate that under eye area before I go in with foundation and concealer and all of that good stuff. Alright you guys, so now that that's kind of cleaned up, I am going to go ahead and apply my face makeup and all of that off of camera and then come back to finish up the eyes. Everything will be listed down below if you're curious, but I will be right back. And I just dropped something. Okay. Alright you guys, so face products are on. I even put my lips on. I will, like I said, list everything down below. I also put my lashes on. All I did was apply a thin line across my eye and with liquid liner and then just apply my lashes. That's the only change to my eyes. But now we're going to finish up the lower lash line and the inner corner. So I am going to be taking this color here. Is the first color that we used from the 12P palettes, and I'm going to take it on a small little brush and I'm just going to start applying that underneath my eye. So I am going to take a blue liner and I'm just going to apply that in my waterline. This is the LA Girl Glide liner in royal blue, and I need to get like close to the mirror like this, so hold on. Alright, so that just kind of like intensified the lower lash line. Now I'm deciding what I want to do for the inner corner. Alright, I think I'm going to go back in with this shade here from the Saharan 2, and I'm also going to be applying this shade on top, which is Aziza. And I am going to wet my brush. Look how pretty that is. Oh my god. Like, do you see this? Oh my god. Okay, I'm not going to apply Aziza on top. I just decided I'm just going to apply this shade. Now once that is on, you can go ahead and apply a little bit of mascara. Alright you guys, so the look is complete. I hope you enjoyed. If you ever recreate any of my looks, please do tag me on Instagram. My Instagram is always at the beginning of my videos. And I usually link it down below, but it's also makeup_by_McKenna. A lot of you guys have recreated my Juvias Plays Zulu palettes tutorial. I will link that down below as well. And you have tagged me on Instagram, and I love seeing your recreations. You're all like so talented and have done such a good job with that look, so definitely tag me if you decide to recreate this look as well. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully you learned something new on how to get super pigmented shadows. It really is all in the base that you use. I do like the Colourpop concealer base. I would love to try the P. Louise base, and Tarte Shape Tape also works really well for this technique, but it really is all about the base and not setting it. Now, I don't recommend doing this technique where you apply a bunch of concealer and don't set it if you're doing a natural look, because natural looks are usually like 1 or 2 shadows on your lid. So that means there's really not a lot of powder on your lid to absorb the moisture in this concealer. Now, if you're doing a look like this, it's a lot of layering and a lot of different shadows and powder that is going on your eye, so they're really going to soak up that moisture, so that way you're not going to crease. But if you're doing a natural look, I may be careful with doing this technique because it may crease a little bit more. You can definitely apply concealer to your lid, but I would recommend setting it if you're only using 1 to 2 shadows. Hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. And subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.